Hello and welcome back to SML Primetime, the official commissioners podcast of the Sim Madden League. We've got our 10-minute timer going, so let's talk SML football, starting with getting better. Specifically, the NFC is getting better. In my opinion, I know that at one point the AFC was heralded as the much stronger conference, and I think it was tough to debate that. But now as I look top to bottom, I can't help but to feel like the AFC has gotten worse and regressed in some ways. When you look at Raider fan and Tug, both players, in my opinion, have regressed. Dan has regressed. I feel like Bomber and Torque are the only two players who've gotten better. And then you look at the NFC side of things, and Soto's been consistent. AJ's been consistent. I've been consistent. You add in a guy like Steele. You add in a guy like Dump. And obviously, the last season and a half, 2 seasons now, Hurts Damon has regressed. But overall, I feel like the NFC is now the more consistently rounded out conference, which would have been weird to say, a couple seasons ago. I think they're much closer now, especially, again, as Dan's kind of regressed. I'm going to talk about that right now. I think Dan obviously had a tough time losing to Torque. He was heavily favored. I've tried building him up. I've made the Dan video. I've tried loving on him on Total Access, and none of that's working. None of that's working. And I'm not here to try to motivate Dan. I'm not at this point. But this is the truth. Dan's just got to get over what happened in the SML playoffs a season ago. Stupid things happen in football. Field goals get blocked in football. Field goals get blocked in Madden. Players drop passes, and you know what? For him to be still upset about that loss to Torque, I think, and mentioning now after every game about how the game's broken or defense can't tackle, I agree that the broken tackles are up now, and dumb animations do happen, and defense is worse, and defense does get worse. I play that exhibition game, SML versus Primer, and defense isn't, when it comes to the quarterback play and all that stuff, when the players are less juiced. We're playing with a lot of juiced players right now. That definitely impacts the defensive side of the ball. But I think just consistently talking about it and just not letting it go is impacting Dan's psyche. And for him to be successful, he's just going to have to say, you know what? This is the game. This is the hand I'm dealt with playing with. But guess what? That guy all has to deal with the same stuff I got to deal with. So at the end of the day, I've chose to play this game. I got to load up and I got to play it. And I think Dan's got to get himself in that spot mentally to kind of get over this hump. Stupid things are going to happen because it's a video game. Stupid things happen in real life. And for Dan right now, he's going to have to just say, okay, I'm done. I'm done just with this consistent complaining about the game because it's not going to change. There's guys in this league who have dealt with much worse repetitively, week in and week out, disappointments, not making the playoffs. Like, you've had one playoff game now where something bad happened to you, and since this is the second time I can think of the fat finger run commit on a Hail Mary, which was the fault of his own. So I think of all that stuff, and I think Dan just has to just drop it and move on to get himself in a mentally better spot. Another thing I want to talk about is people being cool. And I talked about Dump trading his running back Long. And he was trying to be cool. He was trying to get rid of the running back to make himself look good and prove that he could pass to win. And it's kind of backfired. I think he's kind of getting a little bit better now. But I think about when this team selection draft comes up, and this is kind of Damon inspired a little bit, but at the same time, it's just don't just take a team because you're trying to send a message. Don't try to be cool and join the Primes division. Don't trade away your key player to look like. Realize what your strengths and weaknesses are. Realize who you are as a player and do what's best for you. Don't try to send a message, because at the end of the day, when you try to send that message and you prove a hater wrong or you prove somebody wrong, there's always going to be something else. There's always going to be another gripe, another complaint, another something. So just be yourself, do what makes you happy. And I think long term, you'll be more satisfied with the league as we get into June, July, into August. We're in August Madden League. So you have to do what makes you happy and not to send a message or be cool in August or September when the cycle starts. Another thing I want to talk about is the elite players. Obviously, as you guys could probably hear my dog in the background. He's going absolutely crazy right now. But another thing I want to talk about is the elite players in the SML. Obviously, we've talked about on the NFC side of things. I think there's about 3 legit contenders right now. There's myself, there is Steele, and I think Dump is what I would consider somebody who can make a Super Bowl run. Then the next tier in the NFC, you got your Sodas and your AJs. I believe those guys, in the right circumstances, can make a Super Bowl run. I would put Damon in that class, but I believe he's going to miss the playoffs. So that's about 5 players from the NFC that can realistically make a Super Bowl run. On the AFC, I think you got your Dans and your Bombers, and then there's a step down. From there, you have guys like Raider Fan and Tug and KP, if those guys make it. And then there's a step down after that, and then you got your Torques. Oh, excuse me. In the second tier, also you have QP. So you got about 6 guys in the AFC that are pretty competitive if the circumstances go right and if they all make it. Which I don't know if KP and Tug will make it. I think we might see about 5 guys from the AFC, and then you can play it out. You got your Torques, you've got your Slices, guys like that who are competitive. And I'm not sure the stars have to line pretty perfectly there for them to make a Super Bowl, but you never know. Underdogs in the SML right now, I kind of elaborated on this a little bit, but I do want to talk about them some. The Slices of the world, I think he's 7-3 right now. If the stars aligned and he got an Eddie like a shot at this, where he gets an upset, maybe a Dan or a Bomber lose, and neither are standing in his way in the AFC Championship game, I could see him as somebody who can make a run at this. Torque obviously beat Dan. He played him close, and he's had some good wins. Torque could be somebody, again, who's an underdog and makes a push there in the AFC, is a guy that, again, the stars just have to align for these people. On the NFC side of things, I don't really see an underdog that can really make a push for it. I do think it's going to be me, Steele, or Dump, or Soda, or AJ. I think those are the 5. NFC, if you're watching this, I guess prove me wrong, but I think those are the key guys right now that are most likely to make the push at it. Hey, another idea I had, not related to gameplay or competitiveness or anything, especially as we're winding down here the cycle, and I think we're going to have some time between cycles. I want to organize an SML game night, whether it's weekly or every couple days, where we're just like doing something else, where it's Saturday night or Sunday nights, and we're playing a game. Maybe it's Mario Kart. Maybe it's Super Smash Bros. Maybe it's something else. Maybe we all get in a group and we play some like Wii Sports bowling thing or something, Switch Sports Bowling. Something where we could get 8-10 guys. We do something for fun. And then we play Fall Guys and we just have a good time. I think that's just big for building the league culture. And I want to see a guy or two, whoever watches this and you're like, hey, I've got an idea. I think this stuff is fun before. I've been a part of this, or I've been in other leagues where we do this. Shoot me a DM. Let's talk about it. I want to do something, again, to kind of help build up league community. I know we did the SML primer thing, and I think that was a good success. I want to continue stuff like that, where we just continue to build up, just having fun, building camaraderie amongst each other, other than just playing our games and doing podcasts and shows, like just playing something else where we can do something together. And that leads me to my last topic. It's commish time. I just have this to say. When I look at the SML, I think overall we're in a solid spot. I just ask the league, please don't get complacent with where you're at right now, whether it's you've seen your team draft spot or you think you've done enough for the cycle. I've been in Primer chat recently more than ever, and I see a lot of hungry members who would be happy to have a spot, would be happy to be in chat every day, creating content, having a good attitude, willing to contribute in other ways to the league. So I say all that to say, if you're not happy, if you're not satisfied, if you're not wanting to be a part of this, really consider that heading into next cycle, because we have a lot of guys who are eager to be a part of the league. So just consider that. And if there's something we can do as a league better, instead of complaining in chat, and this is a prime complaint as always, but don't go in chat and complain. go talk to me or somebody who can help change your problem or make it better, tell you we can't make it better. Complaints without solutions are just complaints. Have a great day, everybody.